All right, we are going to take this toward Firefly today, or Tittibhasana if you know the pose by that name. And we will get to that pose at the very end. So if you don't remember it, don't sweat that too much. I'll go through a long demonstration before we get to that point. There's going to be a whole lot of prep before we get there. But there's going to be a whole lot of hip openings so that we can get into the pose, which means a lot of work through the inner thighs. Definitely working through the hamstrings quite a bit as well, so keep that in mind. And I'll just go right into the demonstrations I have here before we begin. So as usual for this flow, once we start things out and get to the main part of things, we're going to start this out in downward facing dog and take this through a series of frog hops to take this back and forth. Now you're going to hop from downward facing dog into a squat toward the front of the mat, and how high you take it is up to you, but lift your hips up high, whether or not you want to go toward inversion here. And just pay attention. If you want to go light, keep your feet close to the floor, and if you want to take it up higher, you can pull this up toward a tuck and then lower down if you want to try to stack everything over your shoulders. So just work things as best you can. So to keep it low, and keep in mind, during each round, you're going to do this 3 times. So be ready to move and be springy. You're going to start from your down dog. Take an inhale with the exhale. Just bend the knees, look forward, hop this forward. And you don't have to lift your feet too far, but I want you to land your toes. You're not setting the heels down. Be bouncy. Let the knees go wide. You're going to step it right back. If you want to take this higher, and actually work your balance a little bit, and pay attention that you're not going to kick a table or furniture around you. But you're going to take it from here with the and take the deep inhale, and the same thing with the exhale. Bend the knees, look forward, hop forward, and still land this light and try to take it down slow as best you can. And I could probably take it a little slower than that, but I got to warm up myself before I really get into this. So really just work it as best you can. Once we've done that 3 times, we'll move through the rest of the sequence. And then at the end of the flow, I have one other demonstration here, because we're going to take this into crow, and we're just going to hold that for a breath or two, and then move into basically this flying lizard setup, which can take you toward a half firefly variation. And the whole purpose of that is definitely to work the tension in the inner thighs. So initially for crow, you're just going to have your hands down as usual, come into a forward fold. Dig your fingertips into the floor, lift your heels, bring the knees to touch your arms, look forward, lean, go slow, and just lift your feet together, toes to touch, pull your heels up close, and again, we'll just hold this for a breath or two. You're going to set the feet down, and then we'll switch the setup, almost the same, but the crucial difference is you're going to wrap one of your legs around one of your arms. So my left leg's coming around my left arm, left foot between my hands from the front, right knee to my right arm from behind, just like crow. Then before you do anything else, just lift the front foot, and squeeze the arm that leg's wrapped around. And this is what we're looking for here. And you can just stay in the setup. You don't have to balance it any further. Might not be especially comfortable, especially if your hips are tight, but this will help once we come toward Firefly. If you're going to balance, look forward, lean, lift the back foot. You can stay here. That front leg is still working. And then if you want to take it toward your half Firefly, and this takes a pretty open hip and pretty open hamstring, you can start to extend that leg forward. And to hold on to this, you got to keep that tension in the inner thigh, or else nothing's going to happen, keep in mind. And this is a pretty tough variation, keep in mind. Work it as best you can, see how far you can go with things. And I've only been able to move into that half Firefly variation probably within the last 2 or 3 years or so. It does take a lot of work, so don't get too hung up if you can't quite extend the front leg. Work things as best you can and see how far you're ready to go with things today. So to get this started, let's go ahead and bring this down onto our backs. Let me just press a couple more buttons here. And bring yourself all the way down to the mat. So it's going to be soles, feet together, knees out wide. And how you set this up exactly is going to depend on you. So if your hips are a little bit more tight, slide the feet away from you and make a longer diamond shape with your legs. And if your hips are open, the knees are almost on the floor, you can pull the heels in close if you like. Now, just let your low back take its natural arch. Relax the hips and let your knees sink down toward the floor. And if you got tight hips, I recommend resting your hands on your inner thighs. But you can always just leave the arms down at your sides, whatever works best right now. Let your shoulders sink down, let your chest open up, and then just close your eyes. So just give yourself a moment to settle in like this. Let your mind quiet down. And then just start to deepen your breathing here. So with the inhales, pulling as much as you can. Try to fill up your lungs. Hold on to all that breath at the top. When you exhale, constrict the back of your throat to slow your breath down on the way back out. And just work to make your exhales last at least as long as your inhales as you breathe. And just keep breathing like this to begin. When you're ready, here, take a deep inhale. And when you exhale, just open your eyes. And just go slow. With an inhale, reach your arms out long past your head. And then with the exhale, just reach your arms forward, hands between your thighs somewhere. Inhale, reach this out long. Exhale, arms forward again. Inhale, reach this out long. Exhale, arms forward. Inhale, reach this out long. Now, at the exhale this time, bring the arms down, but curl up as well. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, stay lifted here. Belly pulled in, low back down, look forward. And then go back and forth from this position. With your next inhale, roll this out. And then with the exhale, curl forward. Inhale, roll out long. Exhale, curl forward again. Stretch forward through your fingertips. Inhale, roll this out. Now with the exhale, curl, but reach to the right of your legs. Inhale, roll this out. Exhale, curl left. Work this as a little bit of a twist. Inhale, roll out long. Exhale, curl right again. Inhale, roll this out. Exhale, curl to your left side. Inhale, roll out long. Exhale, curl right. Inhale, roll out long. And then with the exhale, curl left one more time. Inhale, roll this out. And then with the exhale, just curl back into center and hold here. Stay lifted, belly pulled in, low back down. Stretch forward through your fingertips and bring your shoulders up a little bit higher. Now with your next inhale, roll this out long. And then just keep your arms reaching past your head. Bring your shoulders down, backs of the hands to the floor, and stay grounded through the upper body. And then just work this twisting here. So fold your knees over to the right side. Keep both shoulders pressed down best you can. And then bring your knees through center to the left. And just keep going back and forth from here, twisting through your midsection. And just letting your knees move side to side. Now the next time you bring your knees down to the right, just stay on this side. Press your knees toward the floor. Press into the shoulders. Work to lift your right hip. And just hold. And then just release that. Fold your knees over to the left side. And again, press down. Try to lift your left hip up off the floor. Just engage that tension as you're twisting. And then release here. Come back to Baddha Konasana with the knees out wide. We're going to use this for a variation of bridge. So bring your heels in close enough that you can flatten your low back to the floor as much as possible. Bring your arms to your sides, but bend the elbows. Forearms vertical, make your hands into fists. And keep the fists clenched, keep your elbows pressing down into the floor. And let's just take this up and down. With an inhale, press your hips up high, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, lift your hips up again. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, press up high. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, lift your hips again. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, press up high, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, lift your hips up again. And then exhale, lower. With your next inhale, press up and hold this time. Now keep your fists clenched, elbows pressing down. Keep your glutes squeezing in. Still pull the knees out wide. Just breathe. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, roll back down. Now once you come down, go ahead, set your feet flat. And lay your arms flat at your sides, palms to the floor. Now that was external rotation with the hips. We're going to work internal rotation from here. So see that your feet are set at least hips width distance apart. And then angle your feet. Heels toward the sides, big toes angled towards center. Doesn't have to be too ridiculous, keep in mind. Squeeze the knees towards center. They don't have to touch, but hold on to that tension as well. And then go up and down like this. With an inhale, press your hips up high, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, roll your spine down. Inhale, lift this up again. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, press your hips high. Exhale, bring this back down. Inhale, lift your hips again. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, press up high. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, lift up again. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, press your hips high. Exhale, bring it back down. And then inhale, lift one more time and hold here. Now keep your glutes squeezing. Stay lifted like this. Squeeze the knees toward each other. And just breathe. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just roll this back down. And then bring your knees to your chest. Bring your hands to your knees. Squeeze everything in tight. Now, as you're squeezing, lift your head and shoulders. Bring your nose close to your knees. And then we're going to take things a little bit further here. So back to Baddha Konasana. Reach between the knees. Take hold of your big toes. Soles, feet together, knees out wide. And then pull. Draw the elbows in around your waist. Now keep your head and shoulders lifted. Look forward. Lift your tailbone up off the floor. Now keep your spine rounded as best you can, or you're going to get stuck. We're going to roll back and forth. So as you're ready, just roll back toward the shoulders and then toward your tailbone. Now keep your knees wide. Keep that grip. Keep the elbows pulled in. And just keep moving back and forth like this best you can. And we'll take it back and forth, let's say about 5 times. Now once you're ready the last time, go ahead, roll this up to a seat. Knees still wide. Keep your feet up off the floor. And then just sit this up tall. Draw the heels in close, knees wide, elbows in around your waist. Press your low back forward and try to keep your spine upright best you can. Now as you hold this, just lift the right foot out to the side, however high you can go. And then come back to center, feet together. Lift your left foot out to the side. And then back to center here. Right foot out to the side again. And then come back into center. Bring the left foot out to the side. And then back to center. Still keep your spine tall. Now start to lift both feet. A little bit's fine. Maybe take it further. Take it to where you can, but keep your balance. All right, now we're still going to stay in this seat. I just want you to release your grip. Bend the knees, bring the shins to parallel with the floor, and keep the arms at your sides. Now we're going to go back and forth from this position. So we're going to stay low, not quite coming up to kneeling like I normally do here. So let's take the first round slow. Bring the right foot behind your left leg. Now roll forward, right shin down, right hand down, and then reach your left hand forward. Stay low inside your left leg. Your seat will lift up off the floor. And then just come back down, back to your seat, legs back together. Other side, left foot behind the right leg. Now roll forward, left shin down, left hand down. Set the right foot, reach the right hand forward, but stay low inside the right leg. And then come back to your seat and back to boat. Now if you want to make it a little bit harder, right foot behind your left leg. Roll forward, right shin down, right hand down. Reach your left hand forward, but then touch the right knee to your left leg. Still stay low. And then come back to your seat, legs back together. Other side, left foot behind the right leg. Roll forward, left shin down, right foot down, left hand to the floor. Right hand reaches forward and touch that left knee to the right leg if you want to take it further. And then back to your seat and back to boat. And you can take either version here as we go back and forth. Right foot behind the left leg. Roll forward, reach forward with the left hand, touch down. And then bring it back to center, legs back together. Left foot behind the right leg. Roll forward, reach with the right hand, stay low inside the right leg. And then come back to your seat, back to boat. Right foot behind the left leg. Roll forward, reach forward, keep it low. Back to center, legs together, find your balance. Left foot behind the right leg. Roll forward, reach with the right hand, keep it low. Come back to center, back to your seat. We'll take a few more rounds. Right foot behind your left leg. Roll forward, reach forward, stay low inside the left thigh. Back to your seat, back to boat. Left foot behind the right leg. Roll forward, reach forward, and touch down with the right hand. Come back to center, legs together. Right foot behind the left leg one more time. Roll forward, reach forward, keep it low here. Back to center, back to boat. Left foot behind the right leg. Roll forward, reach with the right hand, touch down. And then bring it back to center, back to boat. Hold here for a moment to stay balanced. And then once you're ready, cross at the ankles, roll forward your hands and find all fours. Once you come in all fours, move around. Now stretch your hands, stretch your fingers with the shoulders and hips, move side to side, just feel things out. Notice where you loosen, where you tight. And then just bring this into center. We'll take this into the wrist. Now keep your hips stacked over your knees and walk your hands in close within 1 to 2 hands lengths. Now palms down, rotate your fingertips out to the side and then in toward your knees as far as you can go. Now set your hands flat, spread the fingers out wide, dig your fingertips down into your mat. Press your spine up toward the ceiling and maybe just sway your shoulders side to side, and this could be good enough. Just keep gripping and keep that tension in your hands. Now if you can take it further, bring yourself into center, straight arms, and then just go forward and back. Shoulders forward, pull the elbows underneath you as they bend. You don't have to go too far down. And then lift back up the straight. And keep moving forward and back like this. Now as you're moving, keep gripping the floor. Keep the elbows squeezing toward each other. Try to look forward the whole time. The deeper bend that you bend the elbows, the more you're going to feel that wrist stretch. Just take it to where you can. Now the next time you come forward, stay forward. Now keep your gaze forward, dig your fingertips down, and then just move one leg at a time. Lift right knee out to the side as high as you can, and then set it back down. Bring your left knee out to the side, high as you can lift. And then back down onto the floor. Right knee out to the side again, lift it high. And then set that knee down. Bring your left knee out to the side, high as you can lift. And then set the knee back down. One more time, lift the right knee, bring it up high. And then back down onto your mat. Bring your left knee up out to the side. And then set it back down. And then come up onto the fingertips. And bring your knees together. Still keep your hips stacked over your knees, but bring the hands really close. Maybe just fold the knees, maybe in line with the knees, but flip your hands over. Backs of the hands down, palms up, the fingertips point in the direction of your feet. Now spread your fingers out wide, press your fingertips down, keep your hands tense, keep them grounded like this. And maybe just sway side to side. This could be good enough. Just keep your hands tense. Now if you can take it further, like before, come into center, look forward, and just go back and forth. Shoulders forward, pull the elbows toward your ribs as you sink down. And then come back up to straight. And keep moving forward and back like this. Keep your elbows squeezing in. Now hold that tension in your hands with your fingertips pressing down. You're not going to lower too far, and you don't have to really feel this, keep in mind. And then the next time you come back up the straight arms, just stay here and hold. Fingertips still pressing down. Take it side to side, 1 foot at a time. A little different this time. Lift your left knee, but try to touch your left heel to your left palm. Come as close as you can. And then bring the knee back down to the floor. Right knee lifts, right heel to right palm, or as close as you can go. And then bring the knee back down. Left heel to left palm again. And then bring that knee back to the floor. Right heel to right palm. And set the knee down. Left heel to left palm one more time. Bring the knee back down. Right heel to right palm one more time. And then bring the knee back down to the floor. Come up onto your fingertips and down onto your heels. Take a moment, shake your hands out, loosen up your fingers and loosen up your wrists. All right, now when you're ready, come back to all fours. I'm going to take this into a forearm plank. So when you're ready, bring the forearms down to the floor. And 2 ways to do this. You can have the forearms parallel with the palms flat. Or you can press the palms together. Either way, see you can keep your elbows at shoulder width. And then step your feet back, bring your body into line, legs together. Push your hands into the floor, keep your spine lifted, keep the shoulders spread apart best you can. And then from here, back and forth, 1 leg at a time. Bring your left knee forward toward your left shoulder, close as you can go. And then step this back. Right knee toward the right shoulder. And then step back. Left knee forward for 2. Step it back again, bring the right knee forward. And step back, left knee forward for 3. Step it back, bring your right knee forward. And then step back, left knee forward for 4. Step it back, bring your right knee forward. And step back, left knee forward for 5. Step it back, bring your right knee forward. Now step back, hold your forearm plank. And step your feet wide about hips width distance apart. Now from here, I want to take it toward a side plank. Roll your heels to the right. Come up onto your left hand. Right forearm stays down. Now you can stay here. Just keep your hips lifted and keep the legs staggered like this. If you want to go further, reach your left arm high. And then maybe take a half bind. Left arm behind your back. Keep the shoulder drawn behind you. And if you can take it further still, keep the left foot pressing into the floor. And just move your right leg. From underneath, step your right foot forward. And then step it behind. Right foot forward. And step it back again. Right foot forward. Step it back 1 more time, and then come back to center to your forearm plank. And then, of course, we got to take it to the other side. So roll your heels left. Come up onto the right hand. Maybe stay here with the hips lifted. You can reach your right arm high, or take a half bind. Bring the arm behind your back. Keep your shoulder drawn back. If you're going to move, keep the right foot pressing down, and then from underneath, step your left foot forward, and step it behind. Left foot forward, and step it back again. Left foot forward. Step it back 1 more time, and then come back to center to your forearm plank. And go ahead, sit your knees down. Come up to all fours. From all fours, just breathe and move around. Now, when you're ready from here, just see if the hands are set about shoulder width distance apart. And we're going to use the crow setup here, not quite taking the full pose. I want you to come up onto both feet and keep your hands down. And walk your feet in close. Now lift your heels, bring the knees outside your arms. So you're going to bring your hips down lower than your shoulders. Now keep your legs squeezed in. Tense up the inner thighs and keep the legs squeezing your arms like this. And then look forward. Now just go back and forth. Lean toward your hands, try to lift your toes. And then come back to your toes, lift the hands up off the floor. And just go back and forth, shifting weight forward and back. Now you don't have to lift very high. You're just picking the toes up or the hands up about 1 inch. And just let your weight shift back and forth. Keep your legs squeezing in and keep your hips low. There should be no danger of falling forward. Keep in mind, you're not trying to lift this up too high. But keep the inner thighs working and squeezing your arms the whole time. All right, the next time you bring your toes down to the floor, go ahead and release this. Come down to all fours. And then once you're down on all fours, give yourself a moment again here, move around. Now, one last thing before we move on. We'll take this a little bit in the hips and then work some of the compression here. So why don't you take it down to the forearms and we're going to move into dolphin. So go ahead and bring your forearms down to the floor. Same options here. You can keep the forearms parallel or bring the palms together. Keep the elbows at shoulder width. Press your hands into the floor, tuck the toes of both feet, and then lift your knees, bring your hips up high. Now, if you can take it further, try to walk the feet and get the hips up as high as you can and keep your hands pressing down. Now, as you keep the upper body in place, just go back and forth here. Dip your knees down just to lightly touch your mat. And then press your hips up high. Bring your knees down for 2. And then lift back up. Dip your knees down for 3. Lift this up again. Knees come down for 4. And then lift back up. Bring the knees down for 5. Lift up one more time and stay here. And we're going to take this as close as we can get toward baby curl and work some compression. Now keep your hands pressing down, keep your heels lifted, walk your feet forward, bend your knees, and bring your thighs in to touch the sides of your rib cage. Now you're trying to bring the knees down toward your armpits, and if you can find that contact, knees against your arms, look forward, start to lean, go slow, and see about lifting your feet. If you do balance this, your face will be close enough to your mat that you can lick it if you want to. I don't recommend that, but just take this to where you can. And then go ahead and release and bring everything down. Once you're down, just bring yourself up to all fours and just move around. Maybe shake your legs out a little bit. And give yourself a moment to breathe here. Now, if you like, you can just stay here and breathe, take a little break, or maybe take another stretch before you move on. But once you're ready, tuck your toes, straighten your legs, lift your hips, find your down dog. And just move into position when you're ready and move around. Now take a look at how you set up that down dog. Hands about shoulder width distance apart. Press your palms flat so you can feel some weight toward the base of your thumbs. And then sink your chest down low to the floor. Now as your chest sinks down, reach your hips up as high as you can toward the ceiling. And try to extend your spine long. Engage your core, tension through the belly around the low ribs. And really press your hips up as high as you can. And keep that long reach from the wrist through the hips. Now, as you hold that tension, if your legs are tight, let that tension go. You can always bend your knees. Maybe pedal out and move your hips side to side. When you're ready here, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just bend the knees, look forward, step to the front, take a ragdoll fold. Now, feet about hips width distance apart, deep into the knees. Let your belly touch your thighs, let your head hang, let your spine round. And let everything go long and loose here. Let the muscles of your neck relax. You can hang your hands to the floor, maybe reach to opposite elbows if you like, and maybe shake this side to side to loosen even further. When you're ready, just release any grip that you have. Keep the bend in the knees to begin, but then restack your spine. Slowly round this up to standing, bring your head up last, and then just open up your palms at your sides. When you're ready, with an inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, just bring your hands down to heart center. Take a moment to breathe, set an intention. Let your mind clear, find your focus. Take a deep inhale here. And then with the exhale, just release your hands. Now at the next inhale, reach your arms up high. And with the exhale, slowly fold this forward. Hinge at the hips. Start with a straight spine. Put a little bend in your knees. Keep your core engaged. Move smoothly, and then just release this at the bottom. Now, once you're ready with an inhale, lift up halfway. Fingertips to the floor or to your shins. Lengthen forward to the crown of your head. And then bring your hands to the mat. Let's step it back to high plank. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Palms pressed to the floor. Press the floor away from you. Press your spine up toward the ceiling. And keep that lift. And then take an inhale. Now with the exhale, bring your shoulders forward as the elbows bend. Keep your body in line. Elbows pulled in at your sides and lower with control. All the way down into your belly. Now once you're down, flatten the feet out behind you. Hands under the shoulders, elbows in at your sides. And we're going to take this up and down through low cobra. With an inhale, just peel up your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, peel this up again. And then with the exhale, lower. Inhale, peel up one more time and keep that lift. Now keep the lift in the upper body, press into your feet. Take some or all the weight out of your hands. Elbows at your sides, draw the shoulders back, keep your gaze forward. And then work to lift it up a little bit higher still. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll this down. Now hands under the shoulders, elbows in at your sides, press the palms down to the floor. And let's take it to upward facing dog. So with an inhale, straighten your arms. Now pull your chest forward, let your hips hang, stay on the tops of your feet. Keep your legs active and work to lift your knees up from the mat. Take it further, kick your feet down, squeeze your glutes, pull the hips forward and deepen and lengthen that arc through the front. Lift with the arms, but lift with your shoulders. Keep your neck long, keep your chest pulling forward. Deep inhale here. And with the exhale, pull your belly in, hips up, paddle down dog. Paddle out. Let your hips move side to side. Now with your next inhale, raise your right leg high behind you. Bend your right knee, hang your right foot left, scorpion dog. Work to stack your hips. With the next inhale, straighten your right leg, three-legged dog. And then with the exhale, just come down, back to down dog. We'll take the other side. Inhale your left leg high. Now bend your left knee, hang the left foot right, scorpion on this side. Work the twist. With your next inhale, straighten your left leg, three-legged dog. And then with the exhale, bring that foot down to the floor. Now from down dog to the frog hops is going to be 3. You can take it up high or keep it low, but land on your toes and land light. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward, hop this forward. And then step it back, hips up high. 2 more times, take an inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward, hop this forward. Step it back again, hips up high. Deep inhale. With the exhale, bend the knees. Look forward, hop this forward. Now after that third hop, we're going to take this into a plank. Keep your shoulders over your wrists, step your feet back, keep the feet about hips width distance apart. And then take it toward a side plank. Roll your heels to the right. Reach your left arm high. The right hand's your base. Now keep your hips lifted. You can stay here. If you want to go further, left arm behind your back, half bind, pull that shoulder back. If you're going to move, press the left foot into the floor. And then from underneath, step your right foot forward. And then step it behind. Right foot forward. And step it back again. Right foot forward. Step it back one more time. And then back to center, left hand to the floor, step the right foot between your hands, low lunge. And we'll take it to the kneeling lunge. Bring the left knee down, left foot flat behind. Now, feet, press into both feet and keep your hips squared still. Hands to your hips with an inhale, just bring yourself upright. Everything stacks up vertical from the left knee up. Now, once you're ready, take this to a half split setup. So lift the toes of the right foot. Slide the right heel forward and straighten the leg. Dig the right heel down, rotate the big toe toward your midline, and pull the right hip back and left hip forward. Keep your hips squared in this position. Now, hands to your low back, interlace the fingers, pull the palms together, draw your shoulders back and keep your chest open. And then take it back and forth to a halfway fold. Keep your core engaged. Hinge from the hips, lead with your chest, come toward halfway down, keep looking forward, and then bring yourself back upright. Again, hinge from the hips, lead with your chest, come down toward halfway, and then lift back up again. Hinge from the hips, bring it toward halfway down, try to keep looking forward, and then come back up the vertical. One more time, hinge from the hips, bring it down toward halfway and hold. Now dig into that right heel, hold your balance, and touch your belly to the right thigh, even if you got to bend the right knee to make that happen. Keep your gaze forward, feel that tension on the back of the right thigh, and if you want to take it deeper, maybe lift the knuckles toward the ceiling. Just hold and keep breathing. Now with your next inhale, slowly bring yourself back upright. Bend the right knee, set the right foot flat. And then shift the weight forward to the right foot, take a high lunge. Tuck the toes of your left foot, lift your left knee, and bring yourself up tall. Take a moment to adjust. Deep into the right knee, left leg towards straight. Left hip pulls forward, right hip pulls back. Keep your torso upright, keep the shoulders drawn back. And we'll take this into the back leg. Dip your left knee down low, just above the floor. And then lift straight up. Sink down for 2. And then lift back up again. Bring it down a 3rd time, take it slow, and then lift back up. Bring it down a 4th time, and then just lift straight up. Now sink down one more time and hold here. Hover the left knee up off the floor, stay tall through your spine. I just want you to pulse this up and down, bouncing with that left knee on my count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now shift your weight forward to the right foot, lean forward, and as many steps as you need. All weight comes to the right foot, left foot lifts. Bring this to your warrior 3. Now keep your lifted body in line, maybe more upright, that's fine. If you can go deeper, you can hinge from the right hip. Make sure that left leg lifts and maybe come toward parallel with the floor. Try to lower your left hip so your hips stay squared. Keep your shoulders pulled back. Keep your gaze forward. Keep breathing here. Now slowly, with an inhale, bring yourself upright. Left knee lifted, hands to your hips. And then just switch this out. The left foot will be your base. Come to standing with your right knee high. Now once you got your balance, right hand to the right knee, pull it out to the side and just keep that hip open. And then if you want to take it further, reach inside the right leg, take hold of the big toe. Now you can pull the knee up higher, good enough. If you want to go further, extend the right leg to the side, but still stay upright and keep the hip open. Now we're still balancing here. If you're holding the knees, stay where you are. But if you have the big toe, release that grip, come back to the knee. Now keep your right knee out to the side. We're going to go back and forth, hinging from this position, keeping the right hip open. Put a little bit on the left knee and go slow. Hinge from the left hip, fold down toward halfway and keep the right knee out to the side. And then take it slow. Come back up the vertical. Right knee stays more or less in place the whole time. Hinge from left hip, look forward and just come toward halfway down again. And then back up the vertical, right knee still to the side. Now one more time, hinge from left hip, bring yourself toward that halfway fold, keep looking forward, just stay here. And then take an inhale. With the exhale, release, both hands down, both feet down, forward fold. Now from your fold, when you're ready, take an inhale, lift it up halfway. And then with the exhale, set your hands down, we're going to take it to crow. Now, palms flat, dig your fingertips down, heels up, and bring the knees to touch your arms. Look forward, lean forward, take it slow, but lift your feet together. Toes to touch, pull the heels up close. And then set your feet down. Now we're going to take it to that flying lizard setup. So bring the right leg around your right arm. Right foot between your hands from the front. Left knee touches the left arm from behind. Now lift the right foot and squeeze the right arm and just stay here. Keep that right leg engaged. This is enough. Now if you want to balance it, lean forward and lift your left foot up as well. And you can stay here. If you can take it toward half firefly, then slowly start to extend the right leg straight, but keep that inner thigh pulled in. Well, there's no other way to hold on to it. So just take things to where you can here. And then when you're ready, just go ahead, step it back, fly it back, take it through your vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. All right, from down dog, we'll take all that to the other side. With your next inhale, raise your left leg high behind you. And then bend your left knee, hang the left foot right, move into your scorpion dog, stack your hips. With the next inhale, straighten that leg through like a dog. And with the exhale, just bring the foot down to the floor. We'll take the other side. Inhale the right leg high. Bend the right knee, hang the right foot left, scorpion on this side, work that twist. With the next inhale, straighten your right leg through like a dog. And with the exhale, bring the foot down to the floor. Now from the down dog to the frog hops again, there's going to be 3. Take an inhale. With the exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop it forward, land light, and then step it back, hips up high. Deep inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop this forward, and then step it back again, hips up high. One more time, take an inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop this forward. Now after that third hop, just keep the shoulders over your wrists. Walk the feet straight back, come into your plank. Feet about hips width distance apart. Now roll your heels to the left, left hand is your base. Keep the hips lifted, reach your right arm high. You can stay like this. If you're going to go further, half bind, right arm behind your back, keep the shoulder pulled back. And if you're going to move, keep the right foot pressing down. And then step the left foot forward from underneath. And then step it behind. Left foot forward. And step it back again. Left foot forward. Step it back one more time. Bring the right hand down, left foot between your hands, low lunge. And then bring the right knee down to the floor. Find your kneeling lunge. Right foot flat behind, hands to your hips, bring yourself upright. Now everything stacks to vertical from the right knee up and keep the hips squared toward the front. Take this to your half split setup. So lift the toes of your left foot, slide that heel forward and straighten the leg. Dig your left heel down, pull the left hip back, rotate the left big toe toward your midline. And then bring your hands to your low back and find the interlace that feels strange. So pull the palms together, draw the shoulders back and keep your chest open. And again, back and forth to that halfway fold. Hinge from the hips. Lead with your chest, come down toward halfway. And then press into both feet, lift back up. Again, hinge from the hips, look forward, bring it toward halfway down. And then bring your spine back up to vertical. Hinge from the hips, look forward, come down toward halfway. And then lift back up one more time. Hinge from the hips, bring it forward and stay forward here. Now bring your belly to touch the left thigh. Even if you got to bend the left knee, that's fine. Left hip back, right hip forward. Feel that stretch in the back of the left leg. Maybe press your knuckles toward the ceiling if you want to take it further. And hold your balance here. I know it's tricky. Keep both feet rooted. All right, slowly with an inhale, bring yourself back upright. And then bend the left knee, set your left foot flat. Now put the weight to the left foot, tuck the toes to the right. Lift the right knee up off the floor, find your high lunge stance. Now just take a moment to set this up. Deep bend left knee, right leg towards straight, right hip forward, left hip back. Keep your hips squared. Keep your shoulders pulled back. And then let's take this from up to down. Dip the right knee low just above the floor. And then lift back up. Right knee down low again. And then lift up. Keep your spine vertical. Dip the right knee down. Lift straight up. Take it slow. Bring your right knee down low just above the floor. And then lift up one more time. Now bring the right knee low and hover just above the floor. Keep your shoulders pulled back. Keep your gaze forward. Keep breathing. And then pulse, bouncing that right knee up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lean forward toward that left foot. And as many steps as you need, come forward to your warrior 3. So bring your lifted body in line, right foot up off the floor. Keep your hips squared. Maybe keep yourself diagonal. Maybe come down toward parallel. Try to lower the right hip. Keep your gaze forward. Keep breathing here. Now with an inhale, slowly come up. Right knee lifted, hands to your hips. And then switch this out. Right foot will be the base. Come to standing with your left knee high. Now once you got your balance, with your left hand, take hold of your left knee. Pull it out to the side. And this is good enough. This can be your pose. If you're going to go further, left hand inside the left leg. Find the big toe. You can use that grip and pull the knee up higher or extend the leg further to the side. But keep yourself upright. Keep breathing. Now, if you're holding the knee, stay as you are. If you got the big toe, release the grip, come back to the knee. And either way, keep that left knee out to the side. Take it back and forth from here to that halfway fold. Put a little bend the right knee. And then hinge from the right hip. Come down toward halfway. Left knee stays out to the side the whole time. And then just take it slow. Bring yourself back up to vertical. Again, like that. Hinge from the right hip. Bring your torso toward halfway down. Try to keep looking forward. And then bring yourself back up, right left hip still open. One more time. Hinge from the right hip, come down toward halfway, hold here. And just keep breathing. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Both hands down, both feet down, forward fold. When you're ready, take an inhale, lift halfway up. And then with the exhale, set your hands, we're going to take it back into crow. So dig your fingertips down, lift your heels up, bring the knees to touch your arms. Look forward, lean, take it slow. And lift your feet together, toes to touch, pull the heels up close. And then go ahead, set your feet down. And we'll take this into that flying lizard setup. So left leg around your left arm this time. Left foot between your hands on the front. Right knee touches the right arm from behind. Now lift your left foot and squeeze the left arm. Lean forward to lift the right foot if you're going to balance it. And then if you want that half firefly, start to extend that left leg forward best you can. Just take it to where you can right now. When you're ready, step it back, fly it back, move through your vinyasa. All right, when you're ready, bring your knees down to the floor, come down into all fours. I want to take a camel pose variation from here. Now I want you to look at your knees and see if they're set about hips width distance apart. And we're going to do this staggered with one knee forward. So slide your right knee forward and somewhere between 6 to 12 inches past the left, but still hips width distance side to side. Now you're going to keep your hips squared. So go ahead, bring yourself up on your knees and press the left hip forward, pull the right hip back a little bit, keep the hips squared toward the front, and keep your feet pressing down, keep your glutes squeezing. Now to take this further, bring your hands to heart center. Walk your gaze up the wall in front of you. Find the point of the ceiling above and keep your feet pressing down. Hips are still pressing forward, glutes still engaged. This could be plenty. Now if you want to take it further, you can walk your gaze along the ceiling toward the wall behind you. Just keep the hips pressing forward, and if you're going to go deeper, maybe release the right hand and look for the left heel. You don't have to touch it, but find that tension from the left knee all the way through to the right shoulder. Hips are still pressing forward the whole time. Keep breathing with this. All right, reel it back in. Hands to heart center. Walk your gaze along the ceiling, find the front wall. And then just come down to all fours and move around for a moment. And just wiggle a little bit side to side. Take any tension out of your low back. All right, we'll take the other side, of course. So look back at your knees and see they're about hips width distance apart. And then just go ahead and slide the left knee forward this time, somewhere between 6 and 12 inches forward to the right. When you're ready, hands to hips, bring yourself upright. And keep your feet pressing down, keep your glutes squeezing, keep your hips squared. Now to take it further, hands to heart center. Walk your gaze up the wall in front of you. Find the point in the ceiling directly above, check in here. Release the shoulders toward the floor and keep your hips pressing forward. If you're going to take it further, walk your gaze along the ceiling toward the wall behind. And then maybe go further still. You can release the left hand and look for the right heel this time. Hips are still pressing forward, glutes still engaged. Keep breathing with this. All right, again, reel it back in, hands to heart center. Walk your gaze along the ceiling, find the wall in front of you. And then come back down to all fours. And once you're down again, wiggle around a little bit, keep things loose. All right, now that we lengthen everything out through the front, we're going to take it the other way. We're going to take this into Firefly. So starting here, we're going to take 2 entries to this pose, and this will not be easy. Just work it as best you can. You're going to open up your hips whether you want to or not. So press your palms down into the floor, and then come into a wide-legged forward fold. So one at a time, come up onto your feet. And keep this loose. So keep your knees bent and set your feet wide, heels in, toes out. Now, just stay low here. And then to come into this, you're going to take the deepest forward fold as you can. You're going to walk the hands between your legs and just pay attention. You want to keep your fingertips either pointed forward, or if you need to back off of the wrists, rotate the fingers to the side, but no further than 90 degrees right or left. Now, as you're ready, walk your hands back underneath. Press your fingertips into the floor and pull your torso down between your thighs. So you're trying to get the shoulders between your knees or as close as you're going to go. Now, once you can't fold any deeper, just look straight down. And then all at once, set the palms flat, bend the elbows, sit on your arms, and squeeze the knees to your shoulders. So you should be sitting on the arms with your chest facing down. Now, if your butt's on the floor, you kind of got to do it all over again. But if you're still lifted, you got 2 options here. Now, keep your chest facing down. You can bring the feet together underneath you. This would be the arm pressure pose. If you can hook at the ankles, you can use that squeeze of the legs to stay balanced, and this is good enough. Now, if you want to take Firefly, it's the same engagement, but without the hook. Point the toes forward, straighten your legs as best you can, keep the inner thighs squeezing into your arms and hold that tension. And just take it to where you can. This looks very different on everybody. You don't have to straighten your legs completely. When you're ready, just go ahead, bring everything down and come to a seat. All right, now I got a second entry here. And for some people, this will be easier, and some people, this will be impossible. Just work as best you can. Everything's depending very much on your proportions. So just keep your knees bent, feet set wide, and knees out to the side. And then you work your forward fold from here. So lean forward between your thighs, bring the arms forward as well. And then with both hands, work that left leg up your left arm. And you're trying to get the knee behind the shoulder. Just get as close as you can. Once the left leg isn't going any higher, press your left arm into your leg. Set the hand down to keep the leg hooked, and just release that. And then use your right arm and work that right leg up as high as you can on the other side. Now, right arm press into the right leg, right hand to the floor, and then just start to rock back and forth. Now, every time you lean forward, try to pull your torso further between your thighs. Keep your legs squeezing in toward the arms. And we're going to lift this up on the count of 3. Now, when you try to lift, try to shoot the toes forward and squeeze your legs tight towards center. So from here, 1, 2, on 3, toes forward, legs squeeze in, and that's the tension you need to lift your butt up off the floor. Not easy. Work it as best you can. Keep that tension in the inner thighs. And then once you're ready, go ahead, bring this all the way back down. And keep in mind, that is a very tough pose. You don't have to get all the way there. You're just trying to get a little bit closer each time you attempt. All right, if you want to work on that further, feel free. Otherwise, we'll start to wrap this up with just a few more poses. Now for that, cross at the ankles, come forward to all fours. I want to take this to Gomukhasana from here. So go ahead, bring your right knee toward the front, toward the center of the mat. Right foot goes left. And then cross with the left knee behind the right. Now squeeze your legs together, bring your feet out wide. And then as your legs are squeezing, come down to a seat between your heels. Now bring both sit bones down to the floor. Just sit this up tall. And then take the arm bind from below first. Right arm crosses your low back, palm facing away. With your left hand reach, you can find the wrist, maybe go to the elbow, anything in between. But use that left hand to pull the right shoulder back, keep your chest open, and sit this up tall. And this is good enough right here, just keep your chest open. If you want to take the full arm bind, you bring the right hand up between the shoulder blades. Left arm comes from above. Now find that grip somewhere between. And again, wherever you take this to, keep your shoulders drawn back, keep your chest open, sit this up tall. And keep your legs squeezing together and your feet pressing down into the floor. And just take the whatever combination of stretches works for you here in this pose. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, just release whatever arm bind you're in, hands down behind you. Lean back and untangle the legs. Just cross the ankles, come forward to all fours. And let's work the other side. So when you're ready, bring your left knee forward. This time, left foot out to the right side. Pull the right knee behind the left. And as your legs squeeze together, bring your feet out wide. Now go ahead, take it slow. Bring yourself down and sit between your heels. And just bring yourself upright. And then once you're ready for the arm bind, take your left arm from below. Cross the low back, palm facing away. Right hand reaches. You can take the wrist, the elbow, anything in between, and use that grip to draw the left shoulder back and sit this up tall. If you're going to take the full bind, left hand up between the shoulder blades. Right arm from above. And again, just find that grip somewhere in between. Shoulders pull back, sit this upright. And then keep your legs squeezing, keep your feet pressing into the floor, and keep breathing here. All right, take an inhale. Now with the exhale, just release your arm bind again. Hands down behind you, lean back and untangle the legs. This time come down onto your back. Pull your knees to your chest and just squeeze everything down for a moment. Now we'll take it from here into a supine twist. When you're ready, just release the left leg and extend it fully. Left hand to the right knee, right arm to your side. Now pull the right knee across your body, tuck your left hip underneath. Keep both shoulders down, look over to the right. Now find the stretch in the outer right hip toward your low back. If you need more, you can press down with your left hand. And if you want to take it further, maybe extend the right leg to the side. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just bring this back to center. Draw both knees in. And when you're ready, switch it out. Go ahead, extend the right leg this time. Right hand to your left knee, left arm to the side. Pull the left knee across your body, tuck your right hip underneath, keep both shoulders down, and look over to the left. Now find the stretch in the outer left hip toward the low back on this side. If you need more, you can press down with the right hand. And if you want to take it further, you can extend that left leg. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, bring it back to center. Draw both knees in this time. And let's take it to happy baby. Reach between your knees. Take hold of the outside edges of your feet. Stack your ankles above your knees. Pull down on both sides. Draw the knees down toward the floor, outside your ribs, and press your feet back up into your hands at the same time. And keep the tension working both up and down. Try to flatten your spine. Sink your tailbone down toward the floor. If you want to take it further, you can rock a little bit side to side. Further still, you can extend your legs out against your grip. And then finally, from wherever you are, take a deep inhale here, draw down as much as you can. And then with the exhale, just release, extend your legs out fully. Lay your arms at your sides. Open up your palms toward the ceiling. And just let your eyes close here and let your body settle down into the mat for a moment. And then just let yourself move bit by bit when you're ready. Fingers and toes, arms and legs. Take a deep inhale. Reach your arms out long past your head. And then draw it all back in. Bring the elbows toward your chest. Pull your knees up as well. And just find your way up to a comfortable seat. Ground yourself into the mat here, stack your spine. Bring your hands up to heart center. And then take a deep inhale. Hold on to the top. And just let everything go. I thank you for joining class. Namaste.